Let's take a moment to talk about the menu tree inside the GDS WinBidPro software. And there's quite a few options in here that are basically the heart of the program, where you have access to every part of the program through this menu tree. And we tried to put it in a sequential kind of progressive order to keep it as intuitive as we could. So the very top part of it would be our GDS website. So that's probably the most global thing that we have as far as information goes. And that's just another browser that you can open. So you click on that, it opens up our website. Same thing as going through Internet Explorer or anything else. It's just from inside our program. And if you click on Help, it opens up our PDF help file. You do need a Adobe Acrobat Reader, which you can find. There's a link on our website and in the Downloads page, and then also just adobe.com. It's a free reader that you can download. Then there's the glass table. That's global for the entire program, so every catalog that you use is using that one glass table. So that's where you'd go to add any kind of glass parts or pricing or anything like that. So next comes the vendors. If we click vendors, then we can actually see a list of all the vendors we have installed. We can change vendors just by clicking one and clicking OK. And you can edit the location of a vendor. If you copy one from another coworker or a friend or something, you can actually copy a folder to your computer and then add it by hitting Add New. Or if a vendor changes location somehow, you copied it and moved it yourself, you can edit the location. So all that kind of maintenance stuff for vendors is also there. And install from the web, that's just a quick link to our catalog page on the website. So under vendors, install from the web gets you there. The vendor info page or screen shows all the different information for the given vendor that you're using. So it shows their phone number, address, website, all that kind of stuff. It does have an add to stock length field that we try and leave at 0 now. What that does mean though is you can add inches to a given manufacturer's stock length. So if they are listed in the parts list as 288 inches, you can tell it to add 1 inch, so then the program will treat it like 289. And the reason we zero that out now is because it's easy enough just to go into the parts list itself and change the stock length to 289 for all the parts. So you don't really need that feature, but it's there. That's something that kind of carried over from the older version. So framing systems, that's the entire list of framing systems that is available for that manufacturer. And again, you can delete, add to, edit anything in that list. And that's how you can kind of customize the framing systems for a manufacturer. Entrances, that's a combination of a door frame and a door leaf, which you're just picking from these lists here, the door frames list and door leafs list. This is something that will be pretty thorough when a catalog has been configured for version 15, but if it was imported from the older program, version 14, it won't be as extensive because that older version didn't have that many entrance capabilities. So keep that in mind. The parts list, that's where all the different part numbers are from a given manufacturer with pricing. There's 10 possible colors. The stock lengths, as I mentioned earlier, can be configured here. The multipliers. There's different codes for the part types. You can change the finish names up here. And this tool here, change a group of parts, is how you can selectively, with a group of parts visible here, you can change different parts of the parts list, like the stock length or the price or the part type, anything like that. There's different videos on this whole thing because there's quite a bit to this screen. And jobs is where you're going to get your entire list of jobs for this manufacturer. There's also a bunch of different features in here for copying a job, backing up a job, copying it to a different vendor, changing the color of a job, changing the framing system for a job, all those different things. So you'd want to check out the different videos for that as well. And elevations, that would be all the different elevations you've created for a given job. You can actually delete, change a description, or change the name, I'm sorry, of an elevation. You can change the framing system just for one elevation. And you can copy an elevation so that you can have another copy of one and then change it a little bit. So all these things are available through this. And the next thing would be elevation framing system. So the framing system that you've used to create an elevation, you can actually manipulate all the parts and settings just for the elevation you've created, so it doesn't affect the global list. So that's available there. There's also a similar button right here on the Layout tab. And the optimizer, that's the way the program figures out the number of stock links required for a job based on the optimum yield of material. So it figures out the least amount of stock links necessary for building a job. And that's where you get your cut list from and all that. So look for the videos on that as well. Final parts is all the different parts for your job, including vinyl, screws, all the stock links, everything that's needed for the job that comes from the framing system that you selected. That shows up in final parts. Final glass is a compilation of the entire job's glass. So that brings in the part numbers from the glass table and the pricing and everything. Elevation parts and elevation glass, that's a breakdown by elevation of all the different parts in glass. So labor is how you would calculate your labor for the entire job. And there's different defaults, which the default labor is down towards the bottom under My Shop. And once you've set your defaults, you can apply them to a job, and then you can actually go in and edit the labor for a given job. So keep that in mind. Markup is the way that you would calculate the final price, the final bid or estimate for your job. So with sales tax, with your profit markup percentage, and any outside costs, any surcharges, all those things can be added in and get your final bottom line price. And final summary is a quick cost kind of analysis of a job with material costs only, and any notes that need to be read for different framing systems and things. And print reports is one window that shows a list of all the different reports you can print. It's also where you can select the different types of labels that you can print, and you can also set the different export options for exporting to Excel or text or software like GTS for bid management and job costing and stuff. And there'll be separate videos for all this stuff too. Print lists is how you can just quickly print a list of, say, your part numbers or your glass or your framing systems in just a nice table list format, so you can see all the different things that you have inside your program. The shop drawings is what you click when you want to compile your CAD drawings for the job in terms of the elevation drawings and the detailed drawings, and it all compiles them together, and you can have either individual drawings per page or multiple drawings per page. And the same thing goes with the details. And the settings for that, for the scale, the paper size, whether they're individual or multiple, all those different things are in this settings window. And CAD is the included CAD program that will let you open the drawings and manipulate the drawings by moving them, deleting things, adding things, typing text, all those different things that a CAD program can do. And you can also set your own CAD program in the settings window to be used instead of our included CAD. My Shop would be all your company information, phone numbers, fax, name, and all that. Customers is a list of architects and contractors and other people that you want to show up on the, say, the markup report, and you can keep track of that information there. System defaults would be the different settings, like how the program opens, whether it shows the vendor list or not, where your default sales tax and markup percentages are, and the surcharges, your saw blade allowance, and you can also set the location of your master file. This is necessary when you're installing on a network, or when you want to share your vendor catalogs. So there's a separate video for that. And that's what that's about. Labor defaults, I mentioned that earlier. This is where you would set your basic labor rates and number of minutes for the men to complete different tasks for different types of systems. So that would be set here. And your GDS license is how you manage your license when you do renewals, or if you need to move your license to another computer or deactivate it or anything like that. All that's done through there. And that about covers it.